Hi guys, so today's video is gonna be a pretty much Kylie Jenner-ish, Kardashian-ish inspired look. Basically, I know like a lot of people have already done that, and basically Kylie Jenner could be considered over, but I still I got Velvet Teddy from MAC, and now I got excited, so I had to do a tutorial about it. So I hope you guys liked the video, and please keep watching. The primer I'm using is Urban Decay's Primer Potion. So I'm kind of boring because I'm always using the same one. So yeah, I really need a new one on top of that. So it's almost done, but until it's done, I'm gonna keep using it because I really hate shopping for primers. Here's something new that I'm super excited about. It's a paint pot from MAC in the color Soft Ochre, which I'm going to use as a base for the whole eyeshadow look. You can see it's really close to my skin color. That's why I'm using it as a base, just to kind of create a uniform kind of just space, let's say, for my eyeshadow look, because I don't want it to be all over the place. I just don't want any redness. So that's why I'm using this color that's super close to my skin tone as a base. Next, I'm going to use Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Eyeshadow Palette. The first color I'm going to take is Coconut Creme. And I'm just going to take a super small eyeshadow brush, basically, and just apply Coconut Creme into my tear duct, so in the inner corner of my eyes, because that's pretty much my highlight color. Next, I'll be using an all-over shadow brush or fluffy brush in the color Caramel, which is a gorgeous kind of copper, really metallic color, and just go ahead and apply all over my eyelid. So I really tend to use a lot of it because I really want it to be very pigmented, but I'm also being very careful, just kind of tapping the color on, because I do hate fallouts. They're a pain to deal with, so if I can, I try to avoid them. Next, using a domed crease brush and the color Peanut Butter, which I just love. I know it looks orange, but you see it looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it into my crease. So just over copper, not too high because just not too high. So right into that crease. Next, taking a liner brush and the color Caramel again, I'm going to go ahead and apply it right on my lower lash line, just to kind of give a little not smoke, but just a little punch. I just like the effect of it. Now, using a precision smudge brush and the color Hot Fudge, I'm going to go ahead and apply Hot Fudge right into my outer V. So kind of doing that little point there. I started by just drawing the pretty much V, and then I just kind of work with it to try and make it less precise, more smudgy, and just kind of blend it into the look to give that really intense effect that I want because of the outer V. And that's why also I took such dark color. So now, since I have a little bit of time to talk because outer V's are such a pain, I can go ahead and tell you that I really apologize if there's little focus troubles, because for some reason my camera hates me and keeps focusing in and out of my face. So I'm just trying my best here because my camera just hates me. Or maybe I hate it because I don't know how to use it. Either way. Now, to kind of smoothen that outer V, I'm going to take the brush I had, the domed crease brush that still has leftovers from peanut butter, and kind of tap my outer V just to try and blend the whole thing a little bit. Basically, that's what I'm trying to do right now. So that's why I'm kind of tapping and kind of playing with the outer V. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the all-over brush, which had caramel on it, to again kind of blend the lower part. Then, using a blending brush, I'm going to blend that whole thing out. Of course, not in too much, because I still want you to see the different colors. I want you to see the difference between peanut butter and caramel, and I want that outer V to still kind of be there, but I don't want that harsh separation, and I also don't want that harsh, defined eyeshadow look. I want you to see it, but not too much, you know? Again, I apologize if my camera keeps refocusing. I don't know how to fix that because I suck with technology. Now, if you get any fallout, I'm just going to take a fan brush and kind of sweep away everything. Now, using a concealer and a concealer brush, I'm using Kate Von D's Lock-It Concealer. I'm just going to go ahead and, after getting rid of fallouts, pretty much apply concealer right under my eyes, not only to get rid of dark circles, but also to kind of redefine the eyeshadow look. Pretty much getting rid of any excess shadow that I didn't want there. So that's why I'm really trying to go close. Now it's time for eyeliner. So I'm using Tarte's double-ended eyeliner brush with Nars Eye Paint in Black Valley. And I'm just going to go ahead and do pretty much an eyeliner line, but as close as possible to my eyelash line, and also not too like thick. Pretty much I want it to be there, but not too much. I'm not even gonna wing it. I'm just gonna basically do as small as possible liner line on my upper lash line. Here you're pretty much gonna see me kind of alternate between the straight end and the kind of like, I call it crooked but rounded or bent end of the Tarte brush, because basically I'm never really comfortable. I'm always like, I don't know, it tends to be really hard doing an eyeliner line, especially when you want it to be really like small. So I just keep changing between the two ends to kind of like find which one is more comfortable without ever making my mind apparently. But that's why I love that brush actually, because you can just go and switch. Now it's back to caramel again, so I'm going to take my all over shadow brush, and I'm sorry for that horrible focus because I hadn't noticed how it was, but basically I'm tapping caramel right on top of that eyeliner, kind of like smooth it out so that it doesn't look so black and to make the whole thing look more soft. So not like harsh liner. For the mascara, I'm taking Hypnose Drama by Lancome and they're Real by Benefit, and pretty much applying the Hypnose Drama first because it's pretty like intense. Like I actually have to wipe off the products because there's always too much on the wand. And I'm pretty much using that one for like drama, so like volume. But then I'm going to go ahead and apply their Real right on top of it to give a better length, division, and a neater look. So like I really want an intense lashes here, but I don't want them to be all clumpy, so that's why I'm using the Real to kind of like correct the whole thing afterwards. I honestly don't know what I would do without the Real because they're like a lifesaver. Like you can use them on their own to get like a super clean, long lashes look. You can like use them to correct a clumpy mascara that actually has a good volume but horrible definition like I'm doing right now. You can see that it actually kind of like makes the look just better, you know, like it defines them more. Like the brush is actually made with like super small bristles, making it easier to kind of divide them after the horrible job Drama does. Now taking Sephora's Smoothing and Brightening Concealer in Light, I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much apply it everywhere I would normally want highlight. So on my cheekbones, on my nose bridge, on my chin, on my cupid's bow, and also on my lips cupid bow. So pretty much just to add a little bit of light. And what I love about adding a cream lighter before powder highlighter is that not only will it give like a much dewy look, but also like it's actually going to like kind of intensify the light. It gives like a really nicer effect. Like the pigment from your powder actually looks much better afterwards. To blend it, you can use either your finger or just a highlighter brush. I'm starting with the brush, and when I see that the brush doesn't really like blend as well as I want, that there's still kind of like a line left, that's when I'm gonna use my finger just to like kind of like blend out whatever's left, like of those lines, to make sure that I don't have like a little line of lighter color skin on my face because that would look so awkward. In case you haven't noticed, I am not a superhuman. This is actually at a faster speed because nobody wants me to just see me blending for like half an hour basically. Next, I'll be using Becca's highlighting powder in the color Opal and the same pretty much like fluffy highlighting brush to just go ahead and apply Opal right on top of everywhere I applied the smoothing concealer to kind of like give an even more dewy look to my skin. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Apply powder on top of cream because it makes it stick, not only stand out, but it makes it stick much longer too. If you guys are wondering why I didn't show you the Opal highlighter itself, it's because it's actually like exploded. It's not even cracked anymore, it's exploded because I'm very unlucky with my pets' interaction with my makeup. They pretty much break everything, which actually like breaks my heart each time. Now using Tarte's double-ended contour brush and a Smashbox stick, so it's the contour stick, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it to contour because, well, it gives a like more intense effect than powder, but I'm also gonna use powder afterwards either way. So yeah, I'm starting with the cream obviously. And don't pay attention to the fact that I'm horrible at drawing those horrible lines, or the fact that this camera is still going against my will and unfocusing by itself. But yeah, so just kind of like draw the lines on the side of your face, right under your cheekbone, and on the sides of your nose, especially if you have a larger nose like me. Now taking the short bristle end of the brush, I'm just going to go in like circular motions and blend and get rid of those lines, which can actually be really tricky because even though it's creamy and like blendable, let's say, it tends to be harder like to get rid of those lines, and especially if you're like me, you always end up with like a line left over somewhere. After getting rid of the harsh lines with the short bristled end, I pretty much just take the bezel end and blend the whole thing. So contour should always be blended upwards, and pretty much it's kind of like the final blending touch. Now taking Tarte's bronzer in the color Park Avenue Princess, I'm just going to go ahead and using the bezel brush again, pretty much apply the bronzer everywhere I applied the contour, because I just find that combining powder and the cream stick is just like a better effect. It's more natural, and also like, I don't know, I just like it better that way. That's actually my personal opinion. But yeah, you can see that it's not too intense of a contour actually. Like I still want it to be a bit natural, but like you can still see it's there. Now using any blush brush, and I'm using the blush Madly from Nars. So it's like a really neutral kind of brownish blush. I'm just going to go apply it right between my bronzer and my highlight, kind of like to just, I don't know, blend it between the two of them and make the whole look just better. It kind of like reconciles the highlight with the bronzer, and also like it's a really like neutral color. For my eyebrows, I will now use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Whiz, and I'm pretty much just going to outline those brows. Again, I apologize for the focus. I'm probably going to be apologizing the whole video by now, but still. So I'm pretty much like, usually I don't really like intense eyebrows, and I try to keep it natural, but for this look, I'm actually going to make them really sharp, very square, but still following their natural shape. Because, I don't know, that's just kind of like a Kardashian thing, even though like if I look at pictures with like Kylie Jenner, her eyebrows are much thinner than mine, but I am not plucking my eyebrows for her because I like thicker eyebrows. So yeah, I'm just gonna like kind of like follow their shape like that and just make it a little bit more intense to give the whole look a more, like I said, Kardashian aspect. And just to be clear, I'm not saying done eyebrows are a bad thing or anything. It's just like if you've seen any of my other videos, I actually like to keep my eyebrows as natural as possible, but that's just a personal preference, and I really have nothing against more like not overly done, but like more intense eyebrows. I think that's a personal choice. So just to be clear, I'm not insulting anything or just like meaning anything more that Kardashian tends to have intense eyebrows. Now I'm going to take concealer and just go ahead and apply concealer just on my upper lip, because I really want to get like a really full lip effect, and I actually have like pretty okay lower lips, so I just need concealer on the upper lip. Now taking MAC's Whirl, I'm just going to pretty much line my lips to right on the outside of my natural lip line, because that will actually make it look a little bit bigger and also like just fuller lips basically. So instead of kind of like drawing right on my lip line, here I'm just gonna like draw right outside my lip line. After that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and do the lower lips. But you can see right now that as usual, I'm just gonna like kind of follow the same direction for my lips. So starting from the middle and then to the outer corners, never like different directions for the two sides of the lips, because that actually makes it harder to make them identical. So yeah. After doing my lower lips and lining them, the lower lips actually I'm going to line them right on the lip line, not on the outside, because in my case I already have pretty much of a like good enough lower lips, I find. So right on it, and after I'm going to fill inside of them, but not the whole way, because I like to have a little bit of space where it's going to be pure velvet teddy instead of kind of like a blend between the lipstick pencil and the actual lipstick. Now it's time for the famous Velvet Teddy by MAC. So it is a matte lipstick, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pretty much apply it on my lips. That's the final touch, and that's pretty much the iconic look of Kylie Jenner. Like I can't say a look is inspired by Kylie Jenner unless you use Velvet Teddy, because I don't know if it's a big hype or anything, but like it just is. Like, she's known for that lipstick. Of course, we've seen her with different colors, but Velvet Teddy is kind of like classic. It's kind of like Allison's Jungle Red and Pretty Little Liar.
So that's all for my Kylie Jenner inspired look. So of course it uses the famous Velvet Teddy by MAC, which is like a matte lipstick. And I'm not really like used to, let's say, doing a lip face correction, like lip correction. I don't really like it. I rather just use my natural lips usually, but for this look I find that it was really necessary to kind of correct it a bit. And I hope you guys liked the video. Basically, of course, it's not like identical because I don't have like a list of every single thing like Kylie Jenner wore or like uses. But I think like it's pretty close. I tried my best to be as close as possible to something that would be really her style. And I hope you guys liked the video, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.